I recently put out a video where I talked a little bit about the residential drug and alcohol program in federal prison, which is also called RDAP. And again, I want to talk about and reiterate that I've never participated in RDAP. I am a former federal defendant that was sentenced in 2017 to 1 year of home confinement, 2016, 1 year of home confinement. And I started the process when I was contacted by the FBI in 2012 and pled guilty in 2014 with sentencing guidelines of 78 to 97 months. So I had a huge departure as a result of my sentence mitigation strategy. So fortunately, I never made it to federal prison, so I didn't participate in RDAP. However, I've got a lot of former co-workers, former business associates that have been through RDAP. I've got people that have come to me and asked me for my help with consulting throughout the journey of being involved with the criminal justice system that have gone into RDAP and come through it successfully and graduated. And I've got clients like that that are in federal prison right now that are getting ready to come home over the course of the next 1 to 3 months that have either completed RDAP or in the final phases of RDAP. And we've actually got one that's a volunteer assistant in the RDAP program. He's done it in several different phases and several different classes. So he understands RDAP probably better than anyone I've ever spoke with. And he's able to funnel a lot of information home to our team to help us when we're helping clients. So we mentioned briefly that to get the potential maximum off of a year, you have to have a sentence of 31 months or more. To qualify for the program, you have to have a sentence of at least 15 months. So if you've got a sentence of 8, 9, 10 months, 12 months, a year and a day, RDAP is probably not a good option for you because with the First Step Back credits, you're going to be coming home sooner anyways. So just a couple things to mention that, if once you do your pre-sentence interview, after you've pled guilty or if you're convicted at trial, you've done your pre-sentence interview with the probation and he's getting ready to write his PSR. If you have a leadership role in your crime or you have a gun charge, you may still be able to participate in RDAP, but you may not be eligible for the time off. So that's something to think about, and it's something that we're happy to discuss with you. If you want to get in touch with us, call us or email us, that in negotiating a plea, there's certain things that may be in your plea agreement that might prohibit you from getting that time off should you qualify for RDAP. And again, just to reiterate, to qualify for RDAP, it has to have a drug or alcohol issue within 1 year of your sentencing. So a drug alcohol issue within 1 year, and it also is something that has to be disclosed in your pre-sentence interview. So you go, you plead guilty, you have your Rule 11 hearing, or you plead guilty after being indicted, or you're found guilty at trial, you go for your pre-sentence interview, and at that point, you're gonna talk about things involving with your crime. You're going to talk about things involving with your personal life, any issues that you might have with alcohol and drugs. This is the time where you must disclose it if you are interested in having the judge make a recommendation to the Bureau of Prisons for the RDAP program. So there's different levels if your sentences on through different time periods, then there will be different periods of eligibility for time off or halfway house time that would be happy to discuss with you if you want to contact our team. But those, I think, are the important points here today: the enhancements, the gun charge, the eligibility. I think it's really important that if you do apply for RDAP and you are given the opportunity to participate in the program, that you have an understanding of the disciplinary infractions that you might come across that would get you either rolled back or kicked out of the RDAP program. So by having clients that have gone through the RDAP, we've been able to get a firsthand look at what are some of the things that people do to either get rolled back into a next phase to extend their time in prison, or where they actually get kicked out of RDAP and they lose their good time. So these are things that we've been able to get because we've got people that are either in the program now, volunteering in the program, or have gone through it, where we're able to take that information and give it to our clients that bring us on as consultants to help them and to set them up for success once they go into the federal prison. Mentioned yesterday that in the video that we had a client that was sentenced to 45 months for securities fraud. To him, that was like a death sentence. It was 3 months shy of 4 years. So he goes into federal prison. He disclosed in his PSR that he had an alcohol and drug program. He was fortunately admitted to the RDAP program, and he's been very successful in it. So along with RDAP and the First Step Act, from the time that he set foot in federal prison to the time that he's going to a halfway house, only 13 months on a 45-month sentence. In addition to that, we had a client come home last month from Lewisburg Prison. This is someone that we assisted in the process from early on being arrested by the FBI on a identity fraud charge, being arrested by the FBI, going through the whole process of a plea agreement, a Rule 11 hearing where they pled guilty, and then being sentenced and going off to prison. This gentleman was a person that really didn't have any leadway because he had the mandatory minimum of 2.5 years for the identity fraud, was able to be accepted to the RDAP program. And with the RDAP program and the First Step Act, 33 months in prison turned into a 13-month sentence. So we're looking at roughly a third of what he had to actually do in prison. So, when you're sitting down and you're getting these sentences of 33 months, which is about 3 years, or 45 months, which is about 4 years, these sound like a tremendous amount of time and just a tremendous amount of lost opportunity, as well as a tremendous amount of difficulty and hurt for the family back home. But by qualifying and participating in these programs like RDAP and the First Step Act, we've had 2 people that have gone through these programs that literally did about a year in prison, which is manageable. They're able to participate in programs and really grow when they're in prison and then come out the door as a better person, ready to start the next chapter of their life. So if you've been contacted by the FBI, if you've received a target letter, if you've been arrested, if you've been indicted, if you've recently pled guilty, all the above, and you're thinking that RDAP might be something that you'd qualify for, feel free to contact us. Our information is in the bio. Feel free to contact us. I'm happy to answer any questions about the residential drug and alcohol program and any other things that may be involved in the federal criminal justice process.